Today I'm on the water. Well, at least for the morning. I just went to pick up these dome pieces. Because the guy I originally made the dome mold for, he had some extras and sold them to me cheap, and there's more to the story, but blah blah, it doesn't matter. I got half a dome. So this dome brings up a topic that I've been thinking about a lot, which is I'm living here in Panama and I want to start a community. I've wanted to start a community like since before I even got here. And you know, I don't want to have a community where it's like a cooperative commune where everyone has designated jobs and all that stuff. I want it to be more like everyone is responsible for themselves and nobody owes anyone anything, and any collaboration is totally voluntary, which, you know, is dependent on having people who are very independent and responsible involved, because you basically have to take care of yourself before you can even, you know, be useful to anyone else. And, you know, if that happens, it'll be really cool because, you know, we'll be able to watch each other's back and collaborate on getting materials or building things. And then if I have a crazy idea that I want to build some giant robot and someone else wants to build some giant robot, we can hang out one night and be like, hey, you know what we should do? We should build a giant robot, and then we can do it. So I've had, over the last few years, I've had a lot of people visit here. You know, occasionally I'll show them on camera, but there have been a lot more people who visited. A lot of them just came for a week or a few days just to visit, you know, help out a little, check things out, whatever. But about a dozen people have come with the explicit intention of staying. And I haven't put out any invitations or anything yet of people, you know, coming to join this community. But it's been people who took it upon themselves to email me or whatever and say, hey Jaimie, I really want to be part of your community, I want to get in on the ground level. And then I'd be like, well, you know, if you come now, I'm not going to be able to help you much because, you know, I've got my family. I'm basically taking care of 4 people. So I'm not going to have time for other people because I'm also building a house and, you know, I'm going to be too busy to help. But if you can come and, you know, get yourself going, cool. And then a lot of times they'd be like, no, I'm coming to help you. And that would throw up a red flag for me. But I'd be like, well, if you're coming to just to visit, yeah, you can come help out. But if you're coming to live here, you're going to be too busy setting yourself up, just like I'm too busy to help you because I'm too busy setting myself up. So if you're going to come with the intention of living here, come and help yourself. Do your own thing, you know? We can carpool to town, we can collaborate a little bit here and there, but mostly just take care of your own business. And then a lot of people say all the right things. It's really easy to say all the right things for various reasons. You know, maybe people just have a romanticized notion, or they don't really know what they're getting themselves into, or they just think if they get here, I'll take care of it, whatever it is. And that's been a bit of an issue. So I don't want to just talk about how difficult and how terrible it's been or anything. Out of the dozen-ish people who've come, none of them have made it. But I can think of one guy off the top of my head who got here, realized he was just way in over his head, and he left on good terms, and he wasn't stressful. He actually left me with some tools and stuff that have been really useful. But he was cool the whole time. He had a very nice personality, he was easy to get along with. He was just in over his head, he wasn't prepared. And he accepted that. And he didn't look to me to fix it for him. So that was all fine. But a lot of people have come. Okay, let me just give you some examples. And this is stuff I've been thinking about because I'm trying to figure out how to get this community going without me getting so stressed out and frustrated with it that I just give up. Because I haven't let anyone come in like the last 8 months or so because it was just getting too stressful. But I would like to start it again soon. So anyway, the first couple who came, I hadn't spoken with them before they got here. Jaimie spoke with them first. And this is when we were renting a house. Before I even bought land or anything. But they wanted to come, they wanted to be in on the whole process and do their own thing. So they drive up to the dock, and the guy hops out of the boat, comes down the dock to where I'm working on a boat. This is like the first little boat I made in Panama. And he picks up a file and starts grinding away. I'm like, whoa, don't file here, because that's already done and painted. And he took off a bunch of paint, but whatever. I was like, okay, so these parts here, I'm filing those, and all these sharp bits, I showed him what I was doing. He takes the file, throws it down, stomps away, like storms off. Not just in like a subtle way, but like in a, I'm angry and I'm making sure you know kind of thing. And I was like, what the? Okay. But I was like, all right, maybe he's just got off the boat and he's not feeling well or something. I don't know. But it didn't get any better, and his girlfriend was horrible too. And by the next day, I was like, all right, we just need to get rid of these people as soon as possible. Which took like another 3 or 4 days, because we're in a remote location. You can't just send people outside to the bus that's not there. It's a little bit more involved getting here and getting away. So one thing I think I might have to start doing is taking a $60 personal ejection fee. No, not even a fee, because I don't need to keep the money. It's just a deposit, a personal ejection deposit. So if someone comes and they're horrible like that, I can just call them a water taxi who will come, give them $60, take these people away. And $60 is kind of an expensive price, but that's what I can get with no notice and no planning. If I just call a taxi to come on the spot, that's what it costs. So that's one thing I'm thinking of starting to do is, just start having a deposit that covers the cost of getting rid of it. Okay, another thing that I don't want to do is give away any freebies. So another guy came. This is after I'd already moved to the island. He came, and he had all these high hopes to build a boat and buy his own little piece of land, do all this stuff. He said all the right stuff. And when he got here, I said, okay, look, for the first few days, just eat with us. Don't worry about paying for anything, and just stay in my little fiberglass dome on the island. Just don't worry about anything. Just take a few days to relax and get yourself set up, because he was going to stay on one of my other islands. Just take those few days to set up on the other island, so I'm not just dumping you there and being like, here you go, And I thought that was a really nice thing, because then he'd have all this time, didn't have to worry about food for a few days, and he could just get set up. Well, we went to town twice that week. He didn't do anything to get set up so he could actually survive on this island. So finally, I'm kind of like forcing him to, not forcing him, but I'm like, dude, you need to get a water tank. Here's the water tank. I will carry it for you. You just need to buy it. I will help you set it up. And it was kind of like helping a baby. And he wasn't buying any food, just cookies. He was just buying cookies. Anyway, by the 5th day, he's having dinner at my house, going up for thirds. And he says, as he's going up for thirds, oh my God, I'm so full. I can barely eat anything else. But he's still taking more food. I haven't even touched the food I brought. I brought all these duffel bags full of snacks. I haven't even opened them yet, because you're giving me so much food. And I was like, oh, right. All right, tomorrow you need to just start feeding yourself. And he got angry with me because I took away his free meals. And this was a common theme with this guy. I let him borrow one of my boats. He was angry about that. He was just angry at me all the time about all this stuff I was giving him. Like I wasn't giving him enough. So finally I got rid of that guy. And so that gave me that's when the freebies ended. So no more freebies. So now I've got two new rules for people coming. And these are all rules that aren't necessary for the right people, but I need to have these rules so that the wrong people aren't so taxing that I give up on the entire situation. So I'm gonna start taking a $60 personal ejection fee. and no freebies of any kind. No free meals, no free stay at my place, no free using my boat, no free anything. And I'm not going to charge anyone a lot of money for whatever. Anything, if I charge someone money for anything, it'll be super cheap. It'll be like, okay, $1 a day to use this boat or something, you know? But it's like enough that there's just a big difference between the way people treat stuff when it's free and when it's not free. So I need to get off the free stuff. No more taking things for granted. There was one other rule that I wanted to make. I know what it is. No more second chances on anger. So the first time someone gets angry and yells at me, or yells at my kids, or yells at anyone here, they are gone. No second chances, no, oh, I wasn't feeling well, oh, well, I was just upset. No, if you get angry, your personal ejection fee goes to the taxi and you are gone. And the only people who will object to any of these rules are people who are going to have problems with these rules. So anyone who's cool will be like, dude, those are great rules and you need to enforce them because we don't want those kind of people. So anyway, okay, so not everyone who's come has been horrible, of course. And the three people that come to mind who are the coolest people who came. One was this guy who came way at the beginning when I first got the island, and he was only staying for a week to visit. And he showed up with food. Like, he was coming to eat with us, but he showed up. He brought a big bag of groceries and was like, hey, here's the groceries, you know, I'm helping. And he brought more food than he ate that week, which was spectacular. And he came with me to go dig at the island at the beginning, and he was helpful. He even brought his own shovel, because he asked beforehand on his way here, hey, what are we going to be working on? I was like, well, I'm digging this thing. You can come help if you want. He's like, all right. And he showed up with his own shovel and his own machete. It was beautiful. And he actually helped and dug, and we talked about all kinds of, you know, we'd go and dig and talk about all kinds of ridiculous stuff for hours and get tired, and then we'd jump in the water just to cool off for like 20 minutes after, and we'd have, it was just a great time. Like, we were working hard and just enjoying it. And then we go back and eat, and he'd entertain himself. This is a big thing. When people can entertain themselves, it's so nice. So he didn't have to be entertained the whole time. He'd be like, all right, I'm going to go read a book or just walk around or go swimming or whatever. I'm just going to go do something for a while, and let me know if you need anything. And he would just entertain himself. That was great. And that guy, I told him when he was leaving, please come back in the future. The other two people that just came to mind were these two girls who came, and Deshana really liked them being there, and they didn't know each other before they came. They just happened to be here at the same time, which I think was also kind of useful, because then they spent a lot of time just getting to know each other and hanging out, so it wasn't like we had to entertain them all the time. But they were also so chill, they could be in our house, hanging out, and not like staring at us constantly. The worst is when people come and just, okay, what do you want me to do? Entertain me. Okay, me, come pay attention to me. You know, it's like, oh man, just relax. They were very chill, easy to deal with. And they weren't coming to, like, you know, offer all kinds of help or anything. They just came to visit, you know, help out a little bit. One of them was cooking all her own food, and she lit her own fires and everything. It was great. I showed her where to do it and everything, and she took care of that. No problem. And then the other girl, she was paying $5 a day just to eat with us, and we just put extra ingredients and everything. And she ate about $5 worth of food, which was spectacular. Because sometimes people are like, oh, $5 a day for all you can eat 24-hour buffet. And then I have to be like, whoa, dude. So anyway, and they were very cool. One day they were like, hey, we want some exercise. What are you doing? And I was like, well, this pile of rocks all has to go over there, and that's what I'm doing. So any amount you move will be stuff I don't have to do, so go nuts. And they spent like 2 hours just diligently picking up what they could carry, going over there, putting it down, coming back, and it was actually helpful. And they didn't want some big reward after. It wasn't like, oh, I need 20 hours of patting me on the back now that I've done something. They were just like, cool, that was fun. Now, it was very relaxing. So there have definitely been cool people who've come, just no one who's come to stay. But, okay, this brings me back to these dome pieces. What I'm thinking about doing, now that I've got my 3 ground rules set, I think, I don't know, maybe I need some other rules. I don't like a lot of rules though, but basically, $60 personal ejection deposit, which you get back if you're not a psycho. No freebies. You know, we can work out whatever, just nothing is free. And there's zero tolerance for anger. But anyway, I think I'm gonna put up a dome on one of my other islands. Maybe a concrete dome. I'm thinking about dividing it into 2 or 3 pieces, you know, with walls down the middle to make like little apartments. Nothing huge, but like a super huge upgrade from like a tent, for example. Like a nice little place that you can stay and put your stuff with a bed, and then you know, outside will be a little cooking area. Maybe one of the dome sections inside will have a kitchen where you can store food. So an outside cooking area, and then a poo-poo area, you know, some kind of bathroom situation. And then there will be water collection inside the dome, and each room in the dome, like each little apartment kind of thing, will have its own water collection. So no one person can ruin it for everyone else. And then people could come and stay in that. Because I really would like to have a larger community here of creative people who are cool, who want to live healthy lifestyles, and you know, just really want to live life and not be stuck in a concrete jungle or in a job they hate or whatever. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking a lot about lately. And I think once I get the house I'm working on right now finished, I think I'm going to take a break from working on the castle fortress thing and get that set up. And at least make it so people can come visit and check it out and hang out. Just to get things started, you know? Because I really would like to at some point have other people who own their own land and, you know, build their own houses and everything and have their own stuff, who are cool neighbors that I can hang out with. And then if someone's out of town, you know, the rest of the community can keep an eye on their house and feed their chickens while they're gone or whatever. It's just really nice to have a community where you know your neighbors and you can work together with them and just share things. So I really want to get that started. Like, I am more than happy to share land for like shared gardens and things like that. But I'm not doing community gardens that are open to anyone, because I only want to share with people who are going to bring value. Because it's easy to find people who want to pick the fruit. Almost everyone wants to pick the fruit. It's much harder to find people who want to spread the chicken poo, or the cow manure, or do the digging. Do the stuff so the fruit happens. But I know you guys are out there. I know there are creative, beautiful people out there, and some of you are going to end up living here near me, and we're going to have awesome lives together. Just need to figure out, don't even need to figure out, just need to start making the steps to get there. You know, I feel so silly making rules for people coming here, because for all the right people, the rules won't matter. They're totally irrelevant. It's just, you know, there are enough of the wrong people that kind of need the rules. Yeah. I should also say that, you know, people who've come here and had bad experiences and given me bad experiences, I don't think they're necessarily bad people. Like, I don't think they're evil or anything. I think that what happens a lot of time, not even just in this situation, in a lot of different situations, but people will have an idea of what something's going to be like in their head, and then when they get to the reality, it's different, and often like a lot harder. And then they realize all the stuff they imagined is irrelevant, and they don't have any of the skills to do what they said they could do, and they just like kind of panic and freak out and behave poorly. Now the best thing to do in that situation is just acknowledge that you don't know what you're doing, admit it to yourself and to the people around you, and just say, I have a lot to learn, and then you can move on to the learning process. But often people panic and just get stuck in, no, I said I can do it, and it's gonna be like I said, and you just have to make it happen for me, and they start falling back onto the wrong ways to get things done. You can't like force people to make the world the way you want, you know. Also, truckers! Oh, I have to get a quick shot of this.